Hello and welcome back to F1 22 Driver Career Mode. My name's Chris, and last time out we were in Spain, and coming there we were off the back of a couple of really bad weekends. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. We had a good race actually. We ended up in the points. We had a good little scrap with our teammate, so overall a good weekend. Championship wise, obviously we've only scored 16 points at the moment, so we could be doing better. But I have faith that today could be another point scoring day. We'll see. Baku is not only a circuit I enjoy, but generally one I do well at. So we'll go there, we'll have a look and see what's what. Upgrade wise, we're still trying to upgrade the car and keep up with everybody else. We're looking at the moment at durability because we've had a few failures. So we're going to have a look. We're going to improve some materials on the MGUH and hopefully that'll help us going forward. We're also going to do another chassis upgrade, which is something we've been pretty strong on. So weight reduction this time around, just a minor one, but you can look on the right hand side. We're the fourth best car in terms of chassis. So yeah, anyway, Thursday came around and we went to the track. We had a little fun in these two McLarens. We were racing a rival, and yeah, this is what happened. It was pretty fun. That chicane in a supercar is a real corner, let me tell you. Anyway, enough with those shenanigans. Let's go qualifying. And off we go to the track. And it's a wet one. This could play into our hands actually, because, you know, the wet being that great equaliser that it usually is, might put us in a good position. But let's see what we do. Q1 taken care of then. P7 takes us through to Q2. Here's the results then of qualifying 1. Ourselves in P7, Esteban in P10. So a good weekend for the team so far. A good start to the weekend, I should say. But Lewis Hamilton going fastest in that Mercedes, which is quite interesting. On we go though, into Q2. Still wet, of course, still Inter's weather, so we're just going to pound in some laps, I think, and see how we get on. We've already done one lap, put ourselves in P8, but we were improving. We are not anymore. We are 2/10 down. Let's see what we can do as we head towards the final real corner, I should say. And onto that very, very long straight. Still 2/10 down. I don't think we can make this up on the straight, to be honest, but let's see. In the wet, this chicane is a little more challenging. 4/10 down now, so I don't think we're going to improve, unfortunately. However, I think we're safe. Yeah, we are. We're 8th position then into Q3, into the shootout again. Esteban Ocon out-qualifies us so far, but let's see. Sergio Perez absolutely flying, putting it on pole in Q2, but let's see. We lose Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, and Lando Norris didn't even set a time in Q2, so yeah, that's an interesting one. Here we are though, in Q3 currently, going purple. We haven't managed to set a lap just yet. We left it quite late to go out, and yeah, cutting it fine, I would say. If you look at the timer in the right hand side, of course we get to finish the lap, but I don't know what I was thinking here. As we go through the castle section, even more tricky in the wet weather. And off we go. Oh my god, bit of a moment there. Onto the back, sort of straight. And we've lost it.
Are you okay?
Whoa, that actually was a big one.
You're okay, please.
That was huge. Just have another. There's the moment look on the way out of the corner, and then we just kept our foot in, got on the power. And I think we just took too much curb through there, and it just sent the back end. Tried to correct it, and of course, tank slapper happened. But here's the moment that it all happened, into the wall, and the wheel went underneath the car. That really was a big one. So yeah, that's our Q3 over, which I think means, well, P10, right? P10 for us. Esteban Ocon, though, our teammate in P7. Ideal, because look, if you look at the cars in front, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, they're all ahead of us in terms of performance. So he got the most out of the car in this session. Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo in Q3. and Danny Rick in P9 after Lando's horrifying Q1.
Good afternoon and welcome from Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. Let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience, and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Ocon, Bottas, Ricciardo, Marshall and Yuki Tsunoda, Magnussen, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel and Perez. They've taken a grid penalty. Joe, Albon, Nicolas Latifi and Lance Stroll. Mick Schumacher and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Right then, the formation lap gets underway here on the streets of Baku. I suspect the drivers today will be very mindful of that narrow uphill section of the Old Town Wall. It requires pinpoint accuracy and perhaps more crucially, courage.
Yes. Well, here we go then. Find ourselves in 9th. Perez down in 14th, having taken an engine penalty. As we wait for the 5 red lights here in Azerbaijan. And we're underway. A little bit of a slow start for us, but not as bad as we've been seeing. We do get jumped by Tsunoda and Magnussen off the start. But we're going to hang it around the outside by the looks of it and try to hold on to those places. We have not done that. Gasly going through as well. Here we go. Then up the inside though. Look at this. Tsunoda absolutely just doesn't care. Squeezes us right into the wall. To be fair, we did come from a way back, but we have held on to our qualifying position. No, we haven't. Never mind. We're down into P11. This is a bit of a strange start. Kind of crazy, to be honest. P11 then it is for us. It's unfortunate. We would have wanted to hold those points playing positions early on so we could capitalise later, but it's a long Grand Prix. We've still got 26 laps. We can get this back. So we're going to work on holding ourselves onto Gasly. We've got Magnussen behind in that Haas. That Haas is quick, so we're going to have to be mindful of that, especially on the straights. Here come the race leaders though. Charles Leclerc leading the way from George Russell and Carlos Sainz topping off the podium at the moment. Lewis Hamilton though, he's shown very good pace this weekend so far, and he's got Max Verstappen right behind in P5. Esteban though has made his way into P6, of course off the back of the grid penalty for Sergio. So holding position for now. Hopefully he can hold on to that for the remainder of the race, but we shall see as the race unfolds here in Azerbaijan. Max Verstappen then rounding second to last corner, I suppose you could call it. Esteban in that P6 and Daniel Ricciardo of all people in P7. The McLaren's starting to come to life I think this season, which is great to see from them. Not great, so great for us. Same with the Alfa Romeo. It is good fun though having a good midfield fight, so we just need to keep on our upgrade game I think and try and get ahead of them, as Sergio Perez already as we head into lap 2 cutting his way through the field and trying to get his way past me, which he does. So we tried to hold it round the outside there, but he just had the better traction out of that corner, as the AI seem to do in this game. They seem to have really good. Look at the launch he got out of that corner. Unreal. They just seem to have really crazy traction out of the slow speed corners. But here comes Magnussen up the inside. We're going to give him the room, but we're not going to give him any more room than is strictly necessary. And we managed to hold our position for now. At P12 we've fallen back to, which is unfortunate for us, but you know, what you're going to do. On to lap 3 though. DRS is going to be enabled, of course, on lap 3. So as we head onto the straight, we've managed to keep ourselves within that range of Perez. And hopefully he can drag us along. And maybe as he starts to make moves, we can try and stick with him and do the same. But we'll see. We screwed up that gear shift there, not ideal. So we've dropped back quite a bit. We did manage to hold on though. as we move later on into lap 5. We're right there on Perez gearbox, which is interesting because it seems like he's getting held up by Gasly. So, not teammates, but part of the Red Bull family. I'm sure Christian will not be happy about that, but let's try and make the most of it on our side, I would say. Being super cautious around this corner, even though it's not wet anymore. That crash that we had in qualifying does get in your head a little bit as we completely avoid the curb. But onto the back straight, or the main straight, and Magnussen absolutely flying around the outside of us, and we say no thanks. I would like to keep that position, and so we do so. I was about to say still within DRS range of Perez, but that's not the case. We've fallen out of that.
No concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
I thought we may have picked up damage when we stuck to the inside there as Magnussen went around the outside, but we didn't, so that's ideal. And on lap 7, there's not an awful lot happening here. We're just really trying to hold station as we catch back up to Perez. Can we make a move? Not here, we can't. There's a bit of a train going on here. I wonder if somebody's got damage ahead, because I feel like Perez should be absolutely flying through this field, and he's just not. Especially on the straights, the Red Bull is a very quick car, so I am surprised. Perez going very defensive here. Super early on the brakes, so we're just going to say, alright, I'll go around the outside towards the castle section. 2 will not go into 1 here. And Perez has backed out, so that's us up into P11 for now. We know that Perez, though, is in the quicker car, but yeah, let's see if we can defend this one. I'll be surprised, but you never know. Cost us a lot of time, though, because Gasly just romped off out of DRS range. Not ideal. Those AlphaTauris, though, in the points, so showing some good pace this weekend. And there goes Perez, just sailing past like we're not even there as we head onto the 10th lap of this race.
He might make a mistake.
Yeah, Mark reckons he might make a mistake. Maybe. Unlikely, though. And as you can see,
Esteban's in for his stop now.
onto lap 12. Esteban's in the pit lane. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton has already pitted and has already caught us back up, having made his pit stop. So that just shows the front running pace here as he just sails around the outside on those fresh hard tyres. And out comes Carlos Sainz into what will now be a weird train. So we find ourselves in P5, sandwiched between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. We're going to do everything we can here to hold on to the back of Lewis, because he can drag us along, hopefully gain us some time before we have to make our pit stop. But we'll see. Max won't be liking this. He'll want to be getting past us as soon as possible as we come towards the end of the lap. Round we go. That's a good camera angle. I like that one. Still in P5. We've managed to hold it so far, but as we go onto the straight, I would imagine the pace of that Red Bull, coupled with the DRS and the ERS, is going to mean he'll get past. He would have got past, but we're coming into the pit lane anyway on lap 13. In we come to get our hard compound tyres. Let's see how this pit stop goes. Nailed the turn in. Yeah,
perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
Perfect. That's a good pit stop for us. 2.4 seconds. We'll take that.
Okay.
Come back out onto the racetrack.
We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
We're going to be racing the 2 AlphaTauris, which means we have gained a little bit of time. We're now in between Gasly and Tsunoda, which we were behind both of those before the pit stop. So let's see if we can hold on to it. Tsunoda's literally pushing us along. Look at the delta time. Absolutely nothing in it, but we've managed to hold him off for now. Still outside the points though, unfortunately. Still all to play for though, we've got time. Holding ourselves onto the back of Gasly. Not the best exit there, but crucially, still going to get DRS, I think. 8/10 at the moment, we should be good. Yeah, I think we'll be alright. We're going to get DRS, but Tsunoda's super close and will be probably looking to make a move on this lap, I would imagine, if he gets a good exit out of this chicane, which he probably will compared to us, because we didn't get the optimum line through there. You can see the gap falling and falling as he approaches. Turn the DRS. Look at him coming, man. It's like we don't exist. It's crazy. Round the outside he's trying to go. Yeah, he tried it, but it didn't work. We managed to hold that one and hopefully hold on to it for a little bit longer. We're going to chase after Pierre now, who's managed to pull himself out of DRS with that little scrap that we had. However, we have also got out of DRS of Tsunoda, so that's ideal. As we head on to lap 20, we've caught up with Pierre Gasly and pulled away from Yuki, so not too much to worry about behind. We just need to focus on Gasly ahead, and hopefully, I think the best we can ask for today would be that single point. So super close now. I think we might have what it takes here. We've got 6 laps. Oh, that's going to cost us some time. That's going to cost a lot of time as we nearly lose the back end coming out of that corner. We just completely missed the braking zone there, and yeah, nearly ploughed into the back of him. So that has cost us a bit of time. As we head towards the castle, we are just about within that crucial 1 second. If we can hold that, that would be ideal, but I don't know if we'll be able to make an overtake now, because we only really gained on him by about a tenth or so per lap. And here we are, yeah, look, lap 23. He's managed to get himself out of DRS. But up front, here's what's happening. Just like last year, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen going wheel to wheel. They're side by side as they go through the first corner, still side by side as they go through the second corner. And up the straight, one of them is going to get DRS here, but who's going to come out on top? And who's got the DRS actually? It looks like Lewis has got the DRS, but Max just seems to have outright pace to just stay alongside him. Unreal. They're still side by side as they head into turn 4, I think that was. Still side by side. Are they just going to stay side? Oh, no, they're not, because Lewis just lost it there as they made a little bit of contact. But wow, that was great racing, just side by side, halfway through the lap. But it looks like Max has come out on top of that one as we head towards the checkered flag on the last lap. No points for us today, unfortunately, just a P11.
Right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
I felt like it was a decent drive, but yeah, it could have been better. We could have scored some points, but there's always next time. Sergio Perez getting driver of the day, then cutting his way up through the field, it looks like. But yeah, that was a tricky one.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Insightful as ever from Anthony Davidson. I don't know why that happens sometimes. It seems to be at Baku as well, where he just doesn't say anything. But yeah, what a race. What a race.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Ferrari do it again, and they've got both drivers on the podium, and of course Mercedes getting George Russell up there as well. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen were too busy fighting, I think, to really capitalise on getting themselves close to the front runners, but it is what it is. We had a decent weekend. We obviously didn't score any points, unfortunately, but I feel like I drove pretty well, but everybody else was just on fire today. So yeah, we just have to get our heads down and head into the next race and hope to score points. But let's have a look at the results, shall we? Carlos Sainz in P3, George Russell in second, Charles Leclerc taking that top step of the podium. As I said, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton battling for 4th and 5th. Max Verstappen came out on top of that battle. Esteban Ocon, though, carried that P6 from the start to the finish and got us some good points this weekend. Sergio Perez managed to get his way up all the way to P7 and ourselves in P11. Having a look at the championship standings, Esteban is ahead of us now with the points. He's been having some solid, consistent weekends over the last few races and has got ahead of us. So we're down in P9. He's up in P7. Charles Leclerc is dominating this championship so far. So we'll see if he holds on to that. But it's a Ferrari 1-2. So Ferrari looking pretty good for the constructors at least. We'll see if it works out for them as the season goes on. Alpine though, we're up in P4. So we've been consistent enough that we've managed to hold that P4 slot. That's our target for this season, so fingers crossed we can hold on to that. But yeah, as I said, Ferrari absolutely running away with this championship so far. Hopefully Red Bull or Mercedes will be able to bring the fight to them a bit more as we progress. But if you have enjoyed this video, give us a like. Next time we're off to Canada. That'll be a good one. I used to did not enjoy that one, but I have been enjoying that one recently, so should be a good race. And after that, I think it's our home race in Silverstone. So we've got a couple of good ones coming up. Yeah, leave us a like, leave us a little comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.